This segment is sponsored by New Perspective Financial Solutions. For many retirees, their largest asset is their IRA or 401k. But what most people don't realize is that those accounts could also be their largest tax liability. Here with some advice is Tavon Jackson. Tavon is a financial advisor and the founder of New Perspective Financial Solutions, a DC-based firm that focuses on preparing people for retirement. Welcome back. Always great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. All right, Tavon, you always talk about, I've heard you talk about disinheriting the IRS.
Oh, that's nice.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so what that means is that most people are set up so that when they pass away, all of the money is going to go to Uncle Sam. So if you have a 401k, a TSP, you're not paying the taxes now, you pay the taxes later, but some people don't actually need their 401ks to live off of. So what ends up happening is when they pass away, they say, you know what, I don't need life insurance, I don't need real estate, I want to just pass this to my kids. Right. But then what ends up happening is that pushes the kids into a higher tax bracket. They got to liquidate the entire account within 10 years, and then almost 50% goes to Uncle Sam. But there's a strategy where we can completely disinherit the IRS so that they get nothing at all.
We need to know what that strategy
Absolutely.
is. Okay, so because if taxes are the issue, how can we work with a strategy where we get more and IRS gets less?
Yeah, so you got to do a few things. So number one, most people are doing what's comfortable, which means, hey, let's put money in my 401k now. Let me get the tax write-off now. And then when I most need my money, that's when Uncle Sam, taxes you. And that's wrong. You don't want that.
Right.
And I'm a firm believer that whenever you delay a problem, it becomes a bigger problem.
True.
And your biggest problem is actually going to be taxes. So you have to be proactive. You have to work with a financial advisor to put together a tax plan.
Yeah.
Because some advisors, they just focus on the growth. They're like, oh, this mutual fund did 3%, this one did 9%, but that doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is you're going to have enough money in your retirement.
Yeah, we need a strategy. We can't just kind of plan for one thing and then get burned down the road. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, you've talked about a strategy where someone takes about 3% a year from their IRA or 401k to fund life insurance. And you talked about naming a charity as the IRA beneficiary. Now, how does that actually work in real life?
Yeah, so here's the strategy. So it's called the 3% rule. So what you do is every year you take 3% out of your portfolio and you give it to an insurance company. And you're like, why would I do that?
Right.
Well, the reason why is, let's say you have $1 million portfolio. If you take that 3% out a year, you're gonna get $1 million worth of life insurance as well. So what's gonna end up happening is that you wanna get life insurance when somebody passes away because that money is tax-free. But the way you disinherit the IRS is that your 401k, you would name a charity or a nonprofit as the beneficiary. And some people will be like, well, why would I do that? Why would I want to give all my money to a charity? My kids are going to be so mad at me.
Right.
The reason you do that is because when you give your money to a charity, there's no taxes. But if you do the 3% rule, your kids can still get what you expected to give to them, but now that money's tax-free. So if you do this strategy, not only will you be able to make the charity happy, really happy, but then also your kids won't have to pay any taxes on their money as well.
A win-win.
It
sounds like to me. All right. Now, who is this best suited for?
Yeah, so this is best suited for people who have a pension, who have their Social Security, and that's enough. If your bills are very low and your income is covering everything, then you don't really need the 401k, and it's actually a burden to you because when you start taking that money out, it's going to push you into a higher tax bracket.
Right.
And you don't actually want that, so what people do is they say, you know what, I'm going to just make this charity the beneficiary. I'm going to do Tavon's 3% rule, and then everybody is happy.
All right.
So if you don't need your 401k, your nest egg, this is the best strategy for you.
All right, that Tavon's 3% rule. I'm going to remember that. I'm going to talk to my husband about that tonight. Yep. Tavon, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And for you at home, if you want to make sure you're on the right track for retirement, New Perspective Financial Solutions has an offer for you. Tavon wants to help preserve and continue to grow your money while also helping you create a reliable income stream. So right now, for the first 5 callers and anyone else with investable assets of $500,000 or more, he's offering a complimentary retirement income plan. This will allow Tavon's team to sit down with you personally or schedule a call to make sure you're on the right track for retirement. The number to dial is 240-335-8366. Again, that's 240-335-8366.